Star Wars, The Acolyte from Disney Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy, along with showrunner Leslie Headland, has not been performing like we've talked about before up to Disney's hopes. And now they've fallen off the charts quite literally when it comes to the top 10. And, well, considering how poorly the show is written, it seems no surprise. Renegade Online.
Well, let me tell you something, kids. Leads us into here. I want to talk about this before we, finish the show tonight. The Acolyte is a crappy show made by stupid people who have no talent, can't write, can't direct, can't act. And it's not on the top 10 anymore. It's completely fallen off the top 10 of the charts.
Well, now wait a minute. Valiant Renegade. Wait a minute. This is Star Wars we're talking about. This is the biggest film franchise in the history of the planet, and they have a live action TV show playing right now. Are you trying to tell me that nobody's watching this thing? I find that hard to believe.
Nobody's watching.
Okay, I'm being
sarcastic. It would even be lower, Derek. It would even be lower, but for the fact that House of the Dragon can't be on this chart because it's not a streaming original, even though 80% of the people watch it on Max, on the streaming service. It's not a streaming original because it's still considered an HBO production, not a Max production.
Right.
That's why it's not on this chart. Now, Disney has a big win this week with The Bear. Everybody says it's good. I've never watched a single episode. I have no idea what the hell that is. But The Bear is kicking ass and taking names.
It sure is.
The Acolyte, Star Wars.
But it was, what was that article?
Presumed Innocent. Is that a remake of the Harrison Ford movie from the 80s and the early 90s?
Is that what that is?
Who we're talking
I have no
about?
idea. I don't know what any of these are, with the exception of maybe The Boys and the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, who don't like cheerleaders. Outside of that, I've not watched any of these things. I've heard of Bridgerton. I haven't watched anything. I don't know what
Bridgerton is for wine moms. That's
okay.
As much
So
as
that
I know.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
a
makes
wine
sense.
mom show. Yeah.
But this is Star Wars we're talking about.
Yeah.
How in the hell is Star Wars not in your top 10 if
because
it's an original?
Star Wars is for nobody anymore.
Right.
And
I remember some article I read about Real Good or whatever, some company called Real Good that said, "Oh my God, you guys, your narrative is all the way wrong. Star Wars: The Acolyte is doing phenomenal numbers," and I'm like, okay, how come I'm not seeing it here? I don't know what the hell Real Good is. It sounds like a real lie, but at the end of the day, it's not here.
It's a bunch of real crap. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Real bullshit. Yeah. Straight up. Like, when are we going to see Star Wars return to prominence? I guarantee you The Mandalorian was somewhere in this list when it debuted. All right. I guarantee you that. But it's been downhill from there when it comes to the entire franchise, not just on television. Well, obviously we haven't seen any movies in a couple of years, but even during the films, all right, it was diminishing returns from one sequel movie to the next. And I think when this Rake movie comes out, it's going to be the exact same damn thing.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. From our wonderful friend and wrench in the chat, D. Bud Martin. Thank you for mentioning this. This is a great point, D. Bud. The Bear was created for FX, which Disney owns. You're right. Which begs the question, why the hell is it on this chart? FX is a linear broadcast channel. The Bear was created for FX. That means that Disney apparently made an internal corporate politics decision to shift the production credits for the show off of FX and make it an official Hulu show, meaning they're spending the money. They're taking the write-down. They're spending the money from Hulu now instead of linear broadcast, which means because they're trying to either make linear broadcast look better, and like we've always said, Hulu is actually a money machine, unlike Disney Plus.
Right.
So, and Disney realizes that they don't produce anything that is going to ever win the streaming charts.
No, sir.
They're not.
Not at all.
And look, people are like, well, it was in the top 10 for a couple of weeks. Y'all, let's be honest. Look at how many new streaming shows come out each week over week, on a legitimate, serious streaming service. There's Netflix, there's Amazon Prime, there's Peacock, and Paramount Plus and Disney Plus. And throw Hulu in there. First of all, a lot of things that come out on Peacock and Paramount Plus are co-branded with linear broadcast, so they're not typically streaming originals. Amazon Prime, obviously, they have no linear broadcast. They're streaming original only. Netflix is streaming original only. But the point is, there's not a whole lot of competition here. There really isn't.
Star Wars should be able to climb the ladder in this list. This should not be competition for Star Wars. All right.
Yeah, I mean, biggest drop or not
franchise ever.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. Like this, that's the worst part about it. And look, we're coming towards the end of the season. All right. So the first episode, you usually expect, okay, there's some mild interest, and then we start moving along. And then we get towards the end where things should be picking up. We should be resolving some of the storylines. People should be more interested right now in seeing how this thing, wraps up. And nobody cares. It's completely fallen out of the top 10.
What was the peak, DA? Do you remember what the peak was?
It has to be 3, right? Power of 1, the power of 2, the power of many.
300 and
after that, everybody was like, okay, I've seen enough. I'm out. All right.
380 million minutes recorded on the same Luminate chart from Variety, their streaming data aggregator. 380 million minutes measured that week from Luminate. And the next week, which had about an 8-minute drop off in episode time, dropped 25% or so, 30% in viewership. In terms of consumption. And it's been falling steadily ever since. And the episodes since then have all been the same 30-minute length. So episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, we're coming in with episodes that are all basically as long as one another, and it keeps falling off. And now they can't even jump in the top 10 with a piddly 282. The Acolyte was pulling 282 million minutes in its premiere week with 2 episodes. And by episode 4, they were still up there at 260 to 280. They can't even hold this. And this was after they went to a cliffhanger, right? And we all found out that the little stupid Asian Ezra Miller guy.
Discount Ezra Miller.
Darth Twinkus the Lame was the Sith Lord. And nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares. And they still have a couple episodes left to go with this show. But that's where it is. People have just fallen off. But this is the point. It'd be one thing if the show cost $50 million. It doesn't. This show cost as much as House of the Dragon when you break it down. This show costs actually almost twice as much as House of the Dragon when you break it down. And there was zero comparison between these two shows. This is a bad show written by a talentless person who was given a job because she knows who all the bad boys raped in Hollywood. That's it. That is her value of getting a show. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.